Hi there, everybody. Check this out then. Right now, the XRP army is going crazy. After this absurd action by the US government, there are rumors that billions of dollars are in Ripple's escrow. These days, the government is actually purchasing stock in an increasing number of businesses. Correct. Zach Rector then poses this shocking query. I wonder if they would also demand some of that XRP from Ripple's escrow, he says. The emotion is evident everywhere, to be honest. The question of whether the government might actually buy stock in Ripple itself is one that many people sincerely wonder about. But this is where things get interesting, guys. I firmly think that the US government has already laid out its overall strategy, as if they are fully aware of the direction this is all going. RLUSD will undoubtedly become the US digital dollar, in my opinion. Consider it. Even before he was elected, in the summer of 2024, Ripple was meeting with the president. According to my theory, the president desired something distinct from the usual digital currency issued by central banks. Ripple then jumps in and announces the debut of this stablecoin. This might serve as your digital currency. Look, President Trump will undoubtedly realize the potential of XRP once you fully grasp it. He can clearly understand how this could boost the value of the US currency. Recall that in 2017, 2018, and 2019, when he was first president, there was already a lot of talk about XRP. They even floated the concept of a digital currency issued by a central bank, essentially a digital dollar. Sincerely, I believe that everything they were considering at the time will eventually come to pass in 2025. What's fascinating is this. According to analysts, you're far behind the curve if you still consider XRP to be merely a payment tool. Are you curious about the true story? Because of this, some believe that XRP might reach 10,000 since it is used for purposes far beyond payments. The fact is that Ripple has entirely changed from being a payments firm to a dominant force in tokenization, custody, and a host of other areas. This is when things start to get interesting. While some people honestly think that XRP may soar over 10,000, others think that's just not possible. Here's my opinion though. Why was it unable to reach 10,000? What's really stopping it really? Because of XRP's insane market cap multiplier, which typically ranges from 400 to 500x, you cannot blame market cap as the obstacle. This implies that the price fluctuates like wildfire anytime new money enters the market. Then someone says, well, what about earlier cycles? This entire 4-year cycle thing, when actual utility kicks in, that will soon be past. The 4-year cycle will be irrevocably altered by it. The conclusion of Bitcoin's 4-year cycle is a topic of constant discussion. Yes, precisely. Because it will be eliminated by usefulness. What truly irritates me, though, was when XRP's original developer, Arthur Brito, stated that the cryptocurrency was intended to be worth 110,000. I firmly believe that he wasn't playing around. What he was actually telling us at the time, I believe, was that XRP would be sitting comfortably in 5-digit territory when everything eventually fell into place. Naturally, I get the response. Okay, so when's this supposed to happen? From everyone right away. It goes down before 2030, in my opinion. We're looking at 2027 to 2028 based on my intuition. CBDCs will be widely available by then. Practically every nation will have them operational. Additionally, stablecoins will be used in the nations that choose not to board the CBDC train. By then, the digital dollar will already be gaining significant traction. The worst part is still to come. I believe that real bank accounts will eventually be available to the majority of the world's unbanked population. When you add tokenization to the equation, it will have grown to be a huge phenomenon by then. We're talking about tokenizing real-world assets worth trillions of dollars. Thus, I ask myself, are you serious? When people claim that XRP will never reach 10,000, getting there is far more likely than it tanking to nothing. Really, hitting 10K has a higher chance than going bankrupt. Man, I definitely saw this coming when Johnny Depp brought it up. In the same way, I anticipated that Gemini's XRP card would become their most popular credit card. The reason Gemini's app downloads recently surpassed Coinbase's figures is probably due to XRP users. This is crazy. Do you recall the SEC VIRS Ripple controversy, which brought together 75,000 XRP holders from 143 different countries? Johnny Depp was exactly right when he said that it was completely unprecedented. Take a look at this. As soon as Coinbase released that RP MasterCard, Gemini physically surpassed them in the US iOS App Store. Coinbase dropped to 20th place while Gemini surged to 16th. That's what I refer to as XRP Army power. Hold on. I could see the demand for the card coming from a mile away. I believe that people are becoming a little too excited. Everyone is behaving as though this card will cause the price of XRP to skyrocket in a matter of days. Keep in mind that we are looking at the long term here, not some short-term overnight miracle. If this is going to add genuine value to XRP, this man with the untidy hair has been discussing how Bitcoin and XRP are the future's preferred defense strategies. You should listen to what he has to say. Do you mean that a significant portion of that Nostro money will eventually be in XRP? Is it the ultimate objective? It will be swapped out. XRP is going to take its place. Therefore, there is a significant need for the royal thimble. There is still a lot of practical use for XRP even if all the banks only need a small amount of it to meet their liquidity needs. Money transmitters are also involved, and perhaps even large corporations are posting their own liquidity around. This means that everyone needs less liquidity than they needed in Nostro and Vostro fiat currency. Therefore, I believe Ripple has performed some of those calculations. There would be incredible practical demand for XRP worldwide if every bank and other financial institution that is regulated had just enough of it to meet their liquidity needs. Even though there are only 21 million Bitcoins, if people want to include them in their portfolio as a defensive asset, the demand for Bitcoin will increase overall when all the various retirement funds, hedge funds, and individuals purchase Bitcoin and have a small amount stashed away. The same is true of Ripple, which serves a very specific purpose, namely, providing an alternative to the high liquidity requirements of the current Nostro-Vostro system of correspondent banking, rather than merely acting as a panic currency. And we simply haven't reached that stage yet, but this thing is so close to blowing up, man. The banks will be rushing to unlock those Nostro-Vostro accounts for the following reasons. Consider the implications for them. All of that locked-up liquidity might return to these institutions' systems. Since the money is currently lying there doing nothing, they might actually use it to fund other projects and obtain fresh loans. This basically fixes all of the significant liquidity issues that banks are facing. Just wait till everyone learns about QNT, which is just a little over 14 million coins in circulation, after he brought up scarcity in Bitcoin's 21 million coin restriction. The people hoarding Bitcoin will be the ones who truly benefit when that price starts to soar. I promise that everyone will be talking about QNT next because it's essentially Bitcoin on steroids. I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who watched. I sincerely thank all of you personally. Have a great evening and I'll see you at the next one.